Ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos al show. Vida en cero gravedad. Life in zero gravity. Vida en cero gravedad. Tú sabes las vibras. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my bad. I'm like crunching. That's terrible. Well, to be fair, I didn't know I was gonna start recording. What is all this? What? They got like scroll ads now that tell you like the side effects of stuff. All right. Anyway, I don't have time for that. What's on this person's story? Nah, like a copyright. Not doing that. Anyway, um, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on now. Hold on now. Kamala might be firing people up. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. No, she might be firing people up for real. Um, I think she stirs up more passion than Joe. I think that's fair to say. I don't think Joe necessarily stirred up the most passion. Like Republicans still found a way to hate him, but really he's just kind of a boring boomer. Like he's moderate. Not really much going on there. So I always thought it was weird. I'm like, y'all know Trump and Biden are really not that different, right? I mean, the main difference is just Trump says wild stuff more often. Joe says wild stuff too. It's just like usually his stuff, it just sounds like he didn't know what he was saying or something. And with Trump's, it's like he's just lying. So I guess they're both just not being accurate with their words. I don't know. It just seemed kind of silly to me. I'm like, it's just boomer on boomer crime, really. You know, Kamala's almost a boomer, huh? Almost. She's close to a boomer. Not quite. I think she's 60. Compared to the 78-year-old and the 81-year-old, I mean, she's a spring chicken, basically. But for real, she is actually firing people up. Honestly, she's not this crazy leftist that Trump is acting like. I mean, she's a prosecutor, former prosecutor. So it's like that's already not super leftist as it is, trying to get people locked up. Um, Necessarily, I'm not saying you can't be a left wing prosecutor, but I mean, she clearly is. But at the same time, it's not necessarily what you think of when you think of like the radical left or whatever. It's just funny. Speaking of the radical left, happy birthday, Big Ken, my dad, Big Ken. I hope you had a great Diva Day / weekend. I tried my best. He was being a sad boy, sad man, like New Jack often is. We'll get into New Jack later, but my dad was just, I don't want to do anything, I mean, I felt like that on certain birthdays, but I think it was like yeah, it was a couple years ago. Certain birthdays where it's like, I feel kind of my birthday. Like I was gonna say, I think it was like my birthday almost 3 years ago now. I didn't really. I was just out of it, and luckily my family lifted me up. I was not feeling it, honestly. I was just feeling like I don't know. I don't want to do this. Like I'm not in the mood, you know. Just like, but my family lifted me up, and I appreciated that. So that was cool. Um, it was actually a nice. It ended up being a nice birthday. So I can't complain too much. It says script. Is it actually going to show me? Oh, I forgot I could do that. Well, actually, they make you what does it say for script? Script. Oops, I might have just ruined this. Jot down a script to use during the recording. Okay, I guess I can do that. That just shows you that this is not scripted. I didn't even know you could write scripts on here. I forgot. The teleprompter thing would actually be pretty cool because I feel like it looks bad when I'm like looking down at like notes that I wrote. So that would actually be nice. I guess I could do it like this, and then y'all wouldn't know if I was holding it behind here, Or I could just like look away. But yeah. Happy birthday, Big Ken. That's what I wanted to say. My dad's birthday. My dad is 57 now. So that might date me a bit. You can probably start to guess my age, you know. But then again, who knows? Probably pretty young for my dad's probably still younger than a lot of your dads. Go figure. So we went to a Dodger game. We went to the game where they beat the Giants. It was recent. It was the one where they beat the Giants 6-4 on July 25th. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know what the date was. I like wrote it down to make sure. I wrote it in this dumb way too. It says we went to the Dodger game where they beat the Giants 6-4 on July 25th. Oh, and it was the return of Kershaw. Man, that game was hot as HE double hockey sticks. I caught myself. I think almost every time I have tried. Almost every time, I'm pretty sure I have cursed before the 10-minute mark, which means that this can get demonetized. I mean, it's already demonetized anyway because they hate on the boy. You know how that goes. But yeah, so we went to that game. Good game. Actually, it was one of the better games you could go to because it started out. They got a lead, then they lost the lead, and then they regained the lead, and then it was over. So Kershaw looked pretty good overall. I think they have 6 strikeouts in 4 innings, something like that. He gave up 2 runs. I know I don't usually do the sports, but this was like live in person, so yeah. I guess I'm more painting the scene because my dad's a Dodger fan. I mean, I'm a Dodger fan too. You knew that. If you've listened to this show at all, you've probably deduced that at some point. So yeah, they won. Um, I was kind of annoying to this Giants fan. I like got in his face and put up an L like that. But sometimes I am like, why are y'all showing up to? I mean, I do want to go to a Giants Dodgers game up there. I'm curious what the atmosphere is like because I can't imagine that those fans are as aggressive as the Dodger fans. I can't imagine, especially in the pavilion. Like, super lucky they did. I saw people getting booed and stuff. Boo, F the Giants and all that. Like, I saw that. It's like, y'all came, but you might want to sit in the pavilion. I remember being a kid. I saw this dude come up in the pavilion with a Giants flag, like, yeah, and fucking like 5 cholos jumped out at the woodworks. They were about to pummel him. I was like, yeah, probably don't do that. I just hit a lamp. That's what that sound was. This lamp right here. Ooh, that looks like crystal clear, huh? Look at that model. I should get better lighting for this. Not bad. I know. I should get better camera, better lighting. It's not the most professional thing. The mic is actually good. That's what's funny. The mic's actually high quality. Like, I see people with a lot more money than me using these mics. I'm like, oh, I guess I picked a good mic. They're using the same one. But kind of funny. It is a good one. It's a Blue Yeti. They don't sponsor me or anything, but if you're ever curious what I was using, if you like how it sounds, a lot of these episodes lately have not been with this mic, so keep that in mind. I would say probably more than half the episodes been used with this mic, but sometimes I get kind of, it's either that or the studio mics, which are probably equal to this, so, or maybe this one might actually be better than some of the ones that we use in the studio. At least like they're set up better. People are always ruining the studio mics. It's like, bro, what are you doing to them? You're just supposed to speak into it. Why is it like getting wrecked every single time? Like, what are you doing? Like, like it doesn't even make sense. How are you wrecking the studio mics? Why? If you go to the pirate location at Silver Lake, why are you wrecking the studio mics? Please. Oh man, I can't wait to get back there. Honestly, I love the vibes and just being with my homie. So I'm looking forward to it. It's crazy how, that's what I was gonna say. The pavilion seats at Dodger Stadium, I swear, in my lifetime were like $5. Now they're 30 on a good day. It's crazy. They were 12 at one point. Now they're $30. They have home run seats that are like $200, or that's how much they were. Like, I looked pretty close to the game. I got the seats for 40, right? Which wasn't terrible, but not great either. For pavilion, like when it used to be 5, like that's kind of wild, you know what I mean? But it's all good. I'm not complaining. I'm just like, it's kind of wild that it went up that much, you know? Don't tell New Jack I said that. He's going to come and defend LA with all his might. Oh, man. No, never mind. Let me not even say that. But yeah, that's where the real fans are at. If you're an opposing fan, probably don't want to sit there, just so you know. So this is good advice. If you're neutral or a Dodgers fan, you should sit in the pavilion. You'll have a good time. If you are another fan base, maybe not so much. I almost saw a Tampa Bay Rays fan get his ass kicked in the pavilion. I didn't even know that they existed. This dude, I'm like, are you trolling or what? The Tampa Bay Rays? I've never seen that. I mean, their stadium never sells out from what I've heard. It's like it's one of the lowest. They're talking about moving that team to Canada. So I'm just like, why are you at this game? So you could see what a relevant team looks like? What a good fan base look? I don't know. I'm confused. Why were you here? The Tampa Bay Rays weren't playing. I guess I should say that. It was the Dodgers and somebody else. It wasn't the Rays. It was like, whenever people wear like a jersey of a team that's not even playing, I'm like, come on, man. Like, some of them just see Yankee fans there. And I'm like, why are you here? Why? Doesn't make any sense. I saw this girl. She's from Boston. She's a Red Sox fan. I was watching her story on Instagram. She win and they got whooped, and it was just funny. Just funny to see, like, she got pictures of the homers and everything. Oh, when we went, Shohei hit a homer. That was cool. And then Teoscar Hernandez, he also hit a homer. That was cool. 2 homers in that game. Or no, my bad. It wasn't him. It was Nick Ahmed, actually. It was Nick Ahmed. I think Teoscar scored, though, from what I remember. But yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have crunched that. Let me get some water. Gotta make you wait sometime. Let's go. My dad is so cheap that he doesn't want me to buy Dodger dogs for him. He's like cheap with other people's money. I'm like, Dad, it's your birthday. Like, I can get, you want a soda? You want a Dodger dog? It's cool. I know it's overpriced. I know that combination is probably going to be like $25. It's okay. It's your birthday. I'll get it. Like, I don't mind. But he wouldn't go for it. I should have just got it, probably. Like the other day, I just bought him coffee because I was like, nah, I already know he's going to say no. So I'm just going to buy it for him. He didn't say nothing. He just enjoyed the coffee. Sometimes you just got to do it. You ask them, they'll be like, no, that's okay. Too bad. You got to do it sometimes. It was good. It was like Rag Coffee. Shout out Rag Coffee. One of my favorite coffee places. They got like a Coffee Punk Kids. It's kind of like it is like a spin on the Garbage Pail Kids. And the one they had, that one I'm talking about that I got him was a Brewmaster Bob, and it's like a dirt cake one. If y'all ever had dirt cake when you were kids, that was always fun. It had like Oreo crumbs and chocolate pudding and like gummy worms. I don't know maybe not everyone had that, but that was always fun. It was cool as a kid, you know. It's exciting. Then my daughter's so sweet. She got me like I talked about dirt cake, and we actually made it together for Father's Day. I forgot how sweet that was. So that was nice. That was really nice. Shout out to Jazzy. I miss you, you know. But yeah. Next time, I'm just going to buy my dad a Dodger dog. I'm just going to sneak off and say I'm going to the bathroom. I'm coming back with some dogs. You got to get it at the Dodger game, you know. It is kind of... The dogs doesn't bother me as much because I'm like, okay, you know, it's like if I go out to eat, it's gonna cost like $10 usually at least for like an entree. So, this dog, whatever. That's overpriced, yes. It's probably worth a couple bucks, yes. I'm okay with that. But the drink, when the drink's like $10, that's when I'm like, all right, now y'all tripping. Why is it I could go to the gas station and get the same drink for like $1.50 at the most? Usually like they got some deal and I could get it for like 70 cents or something or whatever. Or like, the 7-Eleven, every seventh cup is free. So it's just like, come on, man. Come on. Surely we can like work this out. Just funny. I don't know, just crazy. That's the part that's overpriced. The drinks at the movie theater too. It's like, yeah, the popcorn being $10 is wild, but the drink being $10 is like, okay, now y'all lost your minds. At least I'm getting a lot of popcorn. Like I can buy a whole 2 liter for like a couple bucks, and y'all charging 10 for like a cup like this. That's the part that gets me. I don't usually get the drinks. Every once in a while, if I feel like treating myself, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna get a drink. F it. I forgot I could cuss. Fuck it. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, unfortunately, I believe my dad may have given me COVID. He had COVID. I hung out with him at the game. I didn't know for sure that he had COVID. It's been confirmed. Maybe I'll eat a few of these. How much sugar is in these? 2 drops is 4 grams. Let me eat one more. I'm really trying not to have sugar, y'all. That's what's going on here. Pissing me off. It's all good. 2 drops has 4 grams of sugar. That's actually a lot, but it's all good. These are like vitamin C drops. I bought like 600 cough drops recently because I had a cough that lasted for a while. I think I mentioned it on here. So I bought all these cough drops I'm looking at right now, and I bought these like vitamin C things. Like I thought they were cough drops at first, and then I realized like, oh no, but they help support the immune system, and they have a bunch of vitamin C. So I was like, okay, that still helps helps you get over sickness. So why not? But kind of funny. I think I actually gained weight from all the sugar in all this stuff. I wasn't thinking about it. I'm thinking like, oh, it's medicine. I ate like a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure I went over the sugar allowance those days, but that was not today. I think I'm under today. I'm trying. It's hard. Well, and then today, it's like I felt like I had to get like some more electrolytes, so I bought like the lowest, the electrolyte drink with like the lowest amount of sugar. It had like 16 grams, I think, or something like that, which is really not bad for like, it's probably like 32 ounces. Like one 12-ounce can of soda will have like 32 grams of sugar or whatever, which is crazy. So I think for something that's like triple that, like having a third of the sugar is not too bad. You know what I mean? So it's still like, I don't want to, I'm probably still under for the day if I added it up. I had oat milk in my coffee, which I'm sure I know has some sugar. I think that, then these things, not that much though. Not really that much. So we'll see. I had a sugar-free sweat on, and I was like, I shouldn't have done this. Well, I wanted one of those, and they didn't have them. I wanted like the big like CVS electrolyte drinks. That's what I was trying to get. The location I went to didn't have them. Later on, the location did, and I realized like, oh, I should have went to this location. So next time I'm gonna do that. Different locations got different stuff. Those sell out a lot though. People must like them because they're cheap. It's like, compared, it's cheaper than Pedialyte. Pedialyte is actually kind of expensive for what it is. Like, it'd be like $8 to $12 for like the same size Pedialyte, and it's like, what? Like these are like $4. Had to hit the cough button. I mean, I don't know would you rather hear the coughs or would you rather hear silence? I don't know what's better, honestly. I mean, they both are not ideal. So now, let's get into it. KZRO reviews. Ooh, ooh, reviews. I went to the dentist. Teeth looking right. I forgot I went to the dentist in between this episode and that one. So I've been taking like extra care of my teeth. You see these birds? That's for the visual. That's for the ladies out there. You know. So this week I saw the Bikeriders. Who's in there? Tom Hardy. What's that guy that played Elvis? Austin some, I don't know. It was alright. It wasn't a bad movie. Like, I'm leaning. I was like, is this? I don't like to just give everything a 7, but it's probably fair. You know, pretty good acting. Tom Hardy with the accents is pretty wild because you forget that guy's British, you know. So, I think, isn't Tom Hardy British? I'm about to look that up right now. I hate to give you misinformation, even though that's very trivial and does not matter. Let's see. Tom Hardy. I think he's British. English actor, yeah. That's what I thought. So, I'm old. So, yeah. That movie wasn't bad. I almost want to give it a 6.5, but that seems a little unfair to it. So I'll give it a 7 reluctantly. I'll give it a 7 out of 11 Zeus Slaps God. It held my interest decently. I don't know. It's just missing something. It was cool. It seemed like the crowd I was with liked it. It's not a bad movie. It's pretty entertaining. But yeah, it's probably like a 6 or 7 Zeus Slaps God. I'm gonna give it a 7. Like, if you told me it's a 6, I'd be totally fine with that. It's just middle of the road type of like borderline good movie. So just know that going in. I don't think you'll dislike it, but you might not necessarily think it's like the best movie in the world, you know. So I've not seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, unfortunately. I wanted to, but Big Ken, he's actually a fan of the Deadpool movies, and it came out like basically on his birthday, so we're supposed to see it with him. Then my brothers didn't show up, or my brothers, like one of them was in Vegas, the other brother was working, so we didn't go. Or actually, he didn't make it to Vegas, but he trying to go to Vegas. There was like a horrible traffic going to Vegas this weekend, so they just went to Morongo. For the I forget, for the people that are out of state, or there's actually a lot of people that are out of state or out of country. So I know you know what Vegas is. Vegas is like a 3.5 hour drive from where we're at, something like that. Morongo, I want to say, is probably like a 90-minute drive. So they ended up going to Morongo, which is kind of like on the way to Vegas in a way. So, yeah. In a way. Not really, actually. How'd they end up at Morongo? Huh. I think they just probably changed their plans. Like, because Morongo's just straight down the 10, I think. Down, it's not real California right now. The 10, you take the 10 to the 15 to the 210. But yeah, so they went to Morongo instead because there's like a chemical spill or some shit. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. Sometimes the traffic going to or from Vegas is horrible. You got to go at the right times, you know? Like if you're going to leave Vegas, leave like super early because the traffic gets horrible coming back, you know? It's kind of like if you go to Mexico, going there is fine, but trying to get back, I've heard of it taking people like 7 hours, like getting back across the border. I'm just like, that sucks. It's never been that bad for me. Even though they're always trying to keep me, I'm like, I know you love me, Mexico. I gotta go back. But yeah, so that movie wasn't bad anyway. kind of getting sidetracked. I didn't get to see Deadpool and Wolverine. We're gonna see it Friday. I'll have a review for you. I've heard great things about it. I guess some critics are hating on it. It seems like I don't know, but I'm like, what are y'all like expecting from that movie? Are you expecting some type of cinematic masterpiece in the way that you look at it? Like, I'm sure it's a fun movie. It serves its purpose. Well, I gotta see it, but it's like not like all these superhero movies lately have gotten like too serious. So it's nice to have like another funny one. I think those movies are some of the funniest ones, honestly. So it's nice to have Deadpool back. It's been too long. So yeah, I did see. So I saw the Bikeriders in the theater, and I watched the First Omen on Hulu. Now, I should preface this by saying I don't think I've seen any other Omen movies, so I'm watching it as a standalone viewer, like as my introduction to the series or whatever. I've heard it's similar to Exorcist. Definitely seems to be the case. Um, it's about demons, basically. So this movie is basically about. I think it took place in Italy in 1979, in like a convent, nuns, and basically they're trying to create the Antichrist so it could bring about the end of the world so the world can be saved, basically. So they're like breeding these like potential carriers of the Antichrist, and that's what the movie's about. It had a pretty good twist, I thought, and just like it was entertaining. Good acting, like creepy, scary enough. I'd recommend it, honestly. It was one of the better horror movies I've seen recently. That and Oddity. I thought Oddity was actually really cool. This was clearly bigger budget than Oddity. Oddity, not that Oddity was hurt by its budget, really. Like they made the most of that. They did a great job. Um, but this movie, I think they're just different. I am pretty fascinated by the whole idea of demons and that whole religious setting and all that of like you know this is in Rome, right? And it's like nuns in Rome, like a lot of history there with that, you know. So basically, so the world, it's 79, I believe, and it's breaking out into violent protests there, right? So they're trying to get people to basically believe in God again. And their way of doing that is to set the Antichrist loose, which is pretty wild. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I must say that. I was pleasantly surprised. I saw it on Hulu, so if you got Hulu, you can watch it on that. I think it came out this year. I missed it in theaters, so it was one of those that I didn't get to see in theaters. I don't think I was that interested, to be honest. But I messed up. That was pretty good. That would have been a good one in theaters too, because it's pretty creepy. You All right, that'll do it for the reviews. This girl recently used the "I don't date men with kids" excuse. Like there really are fuck girls out there, because I feel like that's what fuck boys say. They're like, "Oh, I don't date women with kids." It's like that's fine if that's your preference. I think it's kind of like you could be missing out on a lot. I remember one time I pissed this woman off because she was 37 and wanted to date a man. She didn't want to date a man younger than her. She wanted to date a man older than her that didn't have kids. Let me look. I'm gonna look this up real quick for y'all because I told her this and she immediately blocked me. Oh man. So I was like, I know I can be annoying. Percentage. Because women have all we're going to get into that later, all their requirements and stuff. Percentage of men over 37 who don't have kids. Who don't have kids. Yeah, because she was 37. Let us see. According to Pew Research Center, 37% of men over 50 who don't have children have never. Oh, no, that's confusing. 3% of five. That's confusing. Okay, let me see. Percent of men don't have children. Don't have. Oh, wow. So that's interesting. Well, anyway, my bad. Where is 37 too old to have a baby for a man? Interesting question, right? I mean, they're not the one bearing the kids, so I would think. I mean, I know if you're well, honestly, I feel like when I'm 37, I'm gonna be fine. So y'all are kind of tripping with that. I'm gonna say a big hell no to that. I mean, I think it's kind of nice to be a younger parent, but at the same time, it's like you'd be fine. I mean, when women get older, you're putting your child at more risk for like disorders. Like I think people talk about, not everybody. Some conspiracy theorists talk about the vaccine, but really it seems to me that there's more of a correlation between like vaccines cause autism and these disorders. I think there's more of a correlation between being like an older mother, because I've heard of that. Like you increase the chances of like Down syndrome and stuff like that. Here's the thing for me. I would not mind having a Down syndrome kid at all. Y'all are like acting like it's like a curse or something. Have you been around Down syndrome kids? They're cool as hell. They're so fun. They're so happy. I mean, that's stereotyping, but the ones I've been around are like super happy and fun all the time. It's like, I wouldn't mind that. I know it's more work, but don't, you got to break that mindset because that's going to be fucked if you have a Down syndrome kid and you have that mindset and you're going to treat them like shit because they didn't come out the way you wanted. Like, that's fucked up. You gotta be more open minded as a parent. You gotta love your kids for them, man. Because you can't expect them to be exactly your image, and like, you can't expect them to have every single quality that you view as ideal. You gotta just embrace them for them. And honestly, like, I know myself, and I would love my kid no matter what. Like, I'm never gonna be that type of person that's like, so you're gay. No, I really don't care. I would not care. If anything, I think people trip about that too much because if you have a gay kid, like they're less likely to have kids, and that's like one of the number one concerns as a parent is you don't want your kid to have kids too young, right? Honestly, I'm keeping it real with you. We don't want our kids to have kids too young like that. We don't want them to put themselves in that position where their life is much harder because they had a kid at a younger age. I know I just said like it's good to be a young parent. That's the drawback of being a young parent. When you're an older parent and you got money and resources, it's not as bad. When you're a younger parent and you're scrapping to survive, like it's not the best environment for the kids necessarily. But maybe it builds character. You know. I mean, I got an 11-year age gap between me and my youngest brother. And when I was a kid, we had a lot less money. We didn't have stuff. I remember there being times where it's like, oh, we're not going to be able to eat today, or like, we got to stretch this till the end of the week, like stuff like that. And it's like, my youngest brother never went through that. It was always like, shoot, they gave him money to eat lunch. They never gave me money to eat lunch. I would bring my lunch, like, because eating at the school was more expensive. Now it's all free, but you used to have to pay, you know? So they would send us to school with these like cheap sandwiches, and fruit snacks and sandwiches. And I remember my dad getting pissed when like more of the chips would be gone than was supposed to be gone, like the chip bags. If there's ever, because I would eat some after school sometimes. I mean, I stopped doing that when he got pissed like that and whooped my ass, I'm sure. But that's what we used to bring that to school. Maybe like a banana or something, some type of fruit, like an apple or something. But yeah, the school lunch was more expensive. So yeah, it's just different times. My parents didn't have the same resources then. At least they claimed not to. Who knows? Maybe they just didn't love me. Anyway, I'm just playing. But yeah, back to that girl with the I don't date men with kids. So it's weird to talk. I've talked to that girl for 2 years, right? Like not full time, not like dedicated, like back and forth. This was actually the first time we met, but we had begun talking like 2 years ago, like just casually talking is what I mean, just like getting to know each other. I met her on Facebook dating. I've used that a little bit. I've met a couple of people off of there, nothing crazy. But so this girl, like, it's right on my profile. I mean, if you are so concerned about that, it's not hidden. I think it's personally, I think it's weird to put your kids in your dating profile, like pictures of your kids. Mentioning them is fine. I think that's good for people to know. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes if a girl got like 5 kids, I'm like, probably not. You know, maybe that's rude. I think there's a difference between 1 kid and 5 kids. I don't know. Call me crazy. I'm not saying they don't deserve love or anything, but it makes you wonder at some point. It's like, everybody has those moments like you get lost in the passion or whatever of the moment, have a kid, maybe even 2. 5? How did that happen? How did that happen that many times? I mean, one girl that I'm thinking of, she is fine as hell, so I guess that sort of makes sense. You ever see like a girl that's fine as hell with a bunch of kids? It's like, yeah, I know exactly how that happened. Sometimes that happens. I get it. Wood pipe. Wood pipe. I always want to joke with her, hey, you trying to have baby number 6? But nah. She probably really would. She might be like super fertile or something. Damn, I remember like I was dating a Mexican girl, but I would hang out with these black girls, and they used to call my Mexican girlfriend a fertile bitch. I was like, damn, that's racist. That's kind of racist, you know. Then I ended up dating a couple of those black girls. Actually, thinking about it, not the one that called her a fertile bitch, though. But I would have dated her. She was kind of cute. But yeah, I dated 2 people in that friend group. I dated that girl's like adopted sister or whatever. Yeah. Smash that. No, I'm just playing. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know how you don't know. Like for 2 years, we're talking. It's right there on my profile. How you not know I have a kid? Why is that not the first thing you're looking for? It's kind of annoying, honestly, when people say that. I've had a girl block me once when she found out I had a kid. I'm not hiding it. I'm never like, if it's that much of a concern, just ask. I've never like had someone ask and then been like, oh no, I don't have kids, and then later on they find out I have a kid. I got 1 kid. It's like I don't know what their concern is. It's sort of a red flag to me. And I tried to ask this girl, I was like, "Hey, what's your concern with that? Maybe we can work through it." I never got a text back. I mean, maybe I will eventually, but I'm just like, I mean, I wasn't really interested in her like that, but I guess I'm more calling her bluff because I think that might be bullshit. I don't know what the reason was, but that seemed weird to me. You know, that seemed weird. Anytime a girl says that, I question it. I mean, it's possible. One girl straight up said that like she wanted to be spoiled and she knew it wasn't fair, but me having kids, I wouldn't be able to spoil her the same way. And I was like, well, I'm good on that anyway. Spoiled means spend a bunch of money on you. That's what spoiled means. It's never about like actual meaningful stuff. It's just about like how much money can you squeeze someone for. It's just like lame. You think that's being spoiled, you know? Who cares about all that stuff? Honestly, it's just crazy. We'll get into that though. This is gonna be kind of a up and down episode with that. I mean, I think this is entertaining. I'm like rating it as I go along. There I go again with that bullshit. Anyway, I'm sick of Dave, man. Bunch of mediocre people with higher expectations. Like, where do you get these expectations from? Where do you get these from? Like, you're okay looking. You're a receptionist at a hotel. Like, why do you think you deserve like a guy making 6 figures? You're short. Kind of chunky. Why do you think you deserve a guy that's making like 6 figures, is like over 6 feet tall, is just, has a swinging pipe, all that. No kids, but no kids. It's just weird. It's like you realize that you're not exactly the top of the food chain, right? So why do you think you deserve that? I don't know. I guess just because I'm the type of person, like, I look past flaws in people. Y'all all got flaws. I've never met someone where it's just like, oh wow, there's nothing wrong with them. I know I got them too. So shoot. One of mine is that I'm clapping back right now because I'm annoyed with that shit. I shouldn't be saying any of this. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I don't even care. I do it for comedy purposes, but still, I shouldn't even be talking about this. I shouldn't even be giving it the time of day. But I mean, this is the stuff people like to hear about, and I'm conscious of that. So that's kind of why I do it. It's like, this is what entertains y'all. Y'all like to hear about the messiness and all that. I mean, I'm not giving the person's name or anything like that, but I'm not even mad. But it's easy to talk about. It's easy to just like relate to people with that. We all been there. So yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Mediocre people, high expectations. It feels like it's all been a waste of time, honestly. Like dating for me, like I blame myself, honestly. Like I should have known better. I'm not blaming y'all. I'm not saying, oh, you all just suck. Like, no, it's my fault. I think I attracted the wrong people. That's my fault. I accept full responsibility, you know. But if you're watching this and you're like a potential person that could date me, just be fucking nice, man. Like, just fucking treat me like I treat you. That's all I ever asked for. I've never received it. Always treating people better. It's like, just for once, can someone treat me like I treat them? Just once. Just once, you know. Someone that I'm actually attracted to. Someone that's not like, someone I'm not attracted to that's more of a friend. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, that's rare. It's like, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not looking for a girl that's a 10 out of 10 physically. I don't need that. That's not what I'm like. I'm not hung up on that. I'll take a solid 7. At least just let me be attracted to you. That's all. Sometimes the 7s have to work harder, so they got better personalities. I've dated 10s. Sometimes their personalities are trash. To some of y'all, I'm probably a 10. I told you I rate myself like a solid 8. That's what I give myself. That's partially just because I'm tall. That's it. I'm tall. I'm proportional. I'm not going to say much more. There's certain things I don't like to brag too much about, but I'm tall, I'm proportional, I'm great in bed, I'm nice, creative. I have rare eye color, Cupid's bow. All the physical features that y'all like. Can grow a nice beard, can grow nice long hair, that type of stuff. So it's all the physical stuff that y'all like. I'm racially ambiguous enough where I can appeal to a lot of different ethnicities, I'm open to any ethnicities, I'm not racist at all. I don't know, man. I think I'm a catch. I'm not saying I'm a 10, but I think I'm like a solid 8. I think I deserve like a solid 8. I'll take a solid 8. I'll be willing to go to a 7. I think anything less than that, it's like, why are we doing this? We both deserve to at least be 7s in each other's books. Ideally, at least 8s, and it would be great if we were both 10s. You know what I mean? Like that would be perfect. But looks are not everything. I do think you have to be attracted, though. I think that matters. I think that's what separates like a friendship from a relationship in a way. It's like we could get along really well. If we don't want to fuck, then it's not a relationship, is it? I don't know. It's the way I think about it. It's like if we're like repulsed by each other's images, that ain't really a relationship to me. That's like, oh, it's a cool friendship. I don't know. We gotta be fucking. Gotta be fucking hard. Fucking good. The fucking vibes. But yeah, one of the wildest things girls do is they ask for gas money and then they don't show up. So I just started saying like, "Hey, I'll buy you your gas. I'll pump it like a gentleman, you know." And that's actually a good like life hack. Like always offer to come pump her gas. If she gets mad, you know that bitch is lying. You know that if she's like, ah, "You're so cheap" or whatever it is, like, you know she's lying. She ain't gonna show up. She is trying to scam you. You know, it's happened to me. I think twice or two different girls that have tried to run that. At both times, I was like, I stayed on them. I was like, yeah, see, you're not showing up. You're not showing, you know, it's like this gas money doesn't mean anything to me. If you're that broke that you need this to get by, then damn, feel sorry for you, girl. You're just going to scam people and create a lot of enemies and shit over time. They seem to be fine with that. It's weird. It's like, okay, but I wouldn't do it again. I'm cool. Like, if I'm offering to buy you gas, then I know you're lying. Because that's way nicer if I came and like filled your tank. I'm gonna start saying it like, oh, you know, I don't think, you know, it makes me nervous when women go to the gas station alone. Let me just come with you and I'll fill your tank. I'm gonna start doing that. Fuck it. They want to try to pull that bullshit. So lame, man. There's just been a lot of like lame experiences. Like, don't waste my damn time, man. Like, I don't do that. I don't just ghost people. Oh, that's the thing that girl says. Like, hey, I didn't want to just ghost, but I've had bad experiences dating men with kids, and I'd prefer not to date men with kids. And then, like, I was like, okay, what are your concerns with that? Maybe we could work through it, you know? If that's really what bothered you. Never wrote back. So I'm like, I just think it was bullshit. I'm going to be real. I think it was bullshit. But whatever. It's all good. It's more, you know what it is? The reason why I was like a little annoyed by it is because I just feel like it's bullshit. Like, you don't have to lie. If you're not interested, you're not interested. It's fine. It's cool. You know, I didn't think you were particularly cute either. You know, you had nice titties, but that's not going to like make me want a relationship with you. Or, I don't even know if they're nice. They're just big. That's all. That's all it was. I didn't see him. I just like seen him in her shirt. That's all. They're big titties. What's not to like about that? But that's not gonna like make me like go from hating someone to being like, actually, she's pretty cool. The titties might be cool. Oh man. So it's crazy how people are that comfortable lying though. Like, y'all don't feel bad at all. Y'all don't worry about like karma. Like, just straight up lying. Like, asking for gas money and not showing up. Like, it's so lame. One girl did that, and then her stories would be some shit like, it was like almost like mocking that. And I'm like, man, you're gonna end up getting fucked up. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you keep pulling that shit, you're gonna piss the wrong person off, and it's just not gonna go well for you. Like, you're basically stealing money from people and then like mocking them on your stories and not replying to their messages. Like, that's not a good look. That's not gonna go well. I'll let the universe sort that out. I ain't gonna do nothing, but man, that is stupid. It's just a stupid move, honestly. I don't understand it. Like, you're playing with fire with that, because a lot of guys are crazy as hell and they are vengeful and they have fragile egos. So you pull some stuff like that, they'll come after you. I don't really care, but I do like, just send the money back. Like, it's stupid for you to do all that, you know. But I'm not lending anyone money anymore. You know, I've learned my lesson, and this is all past stuff I'm talking about. I would never do it again, man. It's not worth it. Fuck it. They don't appreciate it. They're not gonna pay you back, so you're not really lending it. You're like giving it. So it's really not worth it. It's just stupid. So, breaking off from that, Jazzy had a sleepover with her friends in Texas. I remember those just being like the best times. I hope she had a great time. I haven't talked to her about it yet. She was excited about it though, and hopefully she enjoyed it. That was always like some of my favorite stuff. Like, you have your friend over for a sleepover. It's like the funnest thing. I remember me and Scotty Grippin just staying up and watching like Chappelle's show marathons, stuff like that. You know, maybe like trying to sneak some Skinamax. I remember that. There was some movie called Close Enough to Touch. I remember that. Titties. I feel like when you're younger, you think about titties more. And then once you actually start having sex, it's like, oh, titties are cool. But like a girl having a nice ass, especially if you're someone that likes doggy style, a girl having a nice ass is like, I mean, I'm never gonna turn either one down, and I'm not that superficial where it's like, oh, I'm not gonna date you. You don't have like a huge ass. Like, a couple of my girlfriends, yeah, I haven't had a lot of girlfriends. I've only, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I've only had 4 girlfriends. Actually, I think they all had at least a little bit of ass. To be honest with you, I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I think they all did. They get thicker later too. Sometimes, I mean, these some of the moms, they get fucking thick. They get fucking extra thick after they have some fucking kids. Oh, for real though, like see a girl later, it's like, damn, you got thicker, like in a good way. Like you got kind of lucky because you know some moms just blow up. They start looking built like those aliens on Aqua Teens, not the Moon Knights, those other ones. They start looking built like them, the space ass aliens, just like a fucking sack of potatoes. That's fucked, huh? But you know what I mean? They don't take care of themselves. What was that? I got some notification. Oh, just somebody sent me something on Instagram. Anyway, one of my birthday sleepovers, though, someone stole all my birthday money. I still don't know who that was. Whoever you are, fuck you. Like, that's such a fucked up thing to do to a kid. And I don't know. It's just always like, sometimes I felt like some of my friends are haters, man. Sometimes I still feel like that, you know? Just like, what? Why? All I do is build y'all up. I might talk some shit sometimes, like friends do, you know, but I feel a lot of like negativity. It's like, fuck did I do, man? I've been nice. I've been nice to you. Like, what was the deal? What's the deal? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why friends hate like that. Like, we should both want what's best for each other. I want what's best for my enemies. I don't give. I mean, I guess unless they want to kill me, then I don't really wish them best in that. Other than that, you know, I'm cool. Or hurt me, I guess, in some way. But you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah. Me and New Jack were supposed to be in the studio this week. He blamed me. He lost the song we recorded, and he was blaming me like, "Oh, it doesn't seem like you're ready." It's like, yeah, you told me Friday night we're trying to record Sunday that we have to re-record a song that I recorded in like 2022 that I wrote in like 2021 that you lost now. I don't know where the fuck it is because I have like notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of songs. I'm not going to be able to find that shit. So he's saying like, yeah, it doesn't seem like you're prepared. I mean, I'm ready to go, but it doesn't seem like you're prepared. I'm like, bro, you lost the fucking song. Like, you're not prepared. You lost the fucking song. Like, now I have to find the shit, and that's why I'm not prepared. But yeah, it's all good, man. I just thought it was like, we'll get it done. Y'all are gonna fuck with that song too. It's just like I'm gonna just have to step in with more of this stuff, you know. And I told him like part of the beat skips, and I was just gonna let it go, but I realized like that's gonna fuck it up. This is a club banger. This song we're talking about. You can't be having a club banger skip like that, man. I mean, you don't want that for any song, but a song like that that's played at like high volume, like we can't be having like amateur shit like that that fucks the song up. Sometimes when he makes beats, it's like they're offbeat, and then I have to fucking pull off a miracle and like still rap on beat when it's offbeat. You know what I mean? Because when you're rapping, you're catching the beat. The beat comes in unexpectedly, and you got to do that. That is some hard shit to do. And I try to be a good friend, so I'll still do it. But I think I gotta just say like, hey man, this shit's off. Like we gotta fix this. I think I tried, and he got kind of, you know, annoyed about it, and I was just like, all right, well, I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess I can like mask your mistake by rapping on beat and like catching it, which is kind of what I did. But it's like, I don't really want to do that. Like, fix the damn beat. I'll fix it if you want, you know? I've had that issue a few times with some producers. Is like, I produce my own stuff. My stuff, it's almost impossible for it to be offbeat because I'm building it bit by bit, like on a program, like on a metronome. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm looping something, but I'm not looping it where I have to like cut the file. It's just a loop of something I created. So I just put like, oh, loop this 8 times or whatever. Usually not that many times. Loop this 4 times. Loop this 2 times. Like stuff like that. It's like it's just it does it automatically like that. It's not like when you sample something and you have to cut it up and all that. I mean, I've done that too. I mean, my last album had a lot of samples, but for the most part, most of the stuff I've produced over the years has just been like me playing some shit and then looping it. You know, it's like it's automatically looped. So yeah, I don't have those problems as much as some of these producers I work with. You know, and I think maybe my rhythm is a little better. It should be being like the MC and all that, but yeah, I think so I catch weird drum patterns and stuff, like weird pockets in the beat is what I'm always catching. So it's a little different. We're playing a marathon session next weekend, so be on the lookout for that. We're planning on recording a lot of stuff. I hope we get a lot of stuff done. I'm looking forward to it. The book I read this week was The American Roommate by, what was it, Elena Armas, I think, Spanish author. I might have messed up her first name. I know her last name is Armas, so it was good. It was kind of cheesy, I don't know. Romance novels. I read one by, I think it was Ali Hazelwood. That one that was like a werewolf one. It was called The Bride. That one I found to be less cheesy. I like that one. This one was cool. It was a little over the top with like the cheese sometimes, but I think I think a lot of women would like it probably. I realize I'm not in like the target audience. So yeah, romance books are unrealistic, just like a lot of women's expectations. So it's definitely related. It's just like they build these men that are like perfect and never do anything wrong. And it's like, yeah, I guess that is the ideal. It's like, yeah, this guy just the main character in this book, like, oh yeah, he's a surfing champion, but he hurt his leg, but he also luckily happens to be a master chef, so he can just fall back on that. It's like that doesn't happen all the time. It's just kind of funny, but hey, it's fun. I saw a woman saying that men have higher expectations, and I could not disagree more. Like, we have higher expectations than women. So here you go. Men don't have lists of places that dates can't happen, which I've seen several times them circulate these lists, like no Cheesecake Factory, no coffee dates, no going to the movies, no hiking, no this. Like, it's pretty much everything you could think of has been added to this list. I've never seen men do that. You know, height requirements. A lot of girls want to date a guy. The guy has to be taller than them. Can't be the same height. Can't be shorter most of the time. They have to be taller most of the time. Like, men don't really have that. If anything, some men don't want to date girls that are taller than them, but those girls usually don't want to date men shorter than them anyway, so it kind of works out. I don't care. I would date a girl taller than me. It's just that less than 1% of girls are taller than me, so it's very unlikely to actually happen. I think I've met a girl, I think I dated a girl that was actually like real close to my height, but never quite. Monica was like 6 feet. She was tall, so she was pretty close. There's another girl that was like 6'2", so she was tall. What was her name? Why am I blanking on her name? Man, I don't remember. I'm missing her name right now, but she was like 6'2". Then I found out how rare that was. I'm like, how did I? I mean, I'm sure they look for tall guys. They see my height and they're like, oh, nice, finally. Stephanie, that was her name. Actually, she's been on here. She's on the episode. like pretty early on with this. But yeah, y'all, it's kind of ridiculous, women have like how much money you make. That's like a requirement. You can't even have like a bad job title. Like I remember I was making $40 an hour plus bonuses, and this waitress was like giving me a hard time because she didn't like my job title. What I was is I was doing those petitions door to door, but I'm like, bro, I'm making a lot of weeks. I'm bringing home like 2,000 after taxes. Like this is not a bad job. Like what's the problem? And then she was doing realty on the side. I'm like, you're doing the same shit. You're going door to door too. I don't know. I thought it was funny. It's like, okay. But anyway, yeah. I'm just tired. I get so tired of people, man. I'm sick of your insecurities making you hate on me. I actually have a bunch of political stuff, but I'm just gonna wrap this up. I don't even really. I didn't really want to get into that anyway. We could talk about that another time. But basically, what to sum it all up, it's looking like Kamala has a real shot. Well, I guess we'll see how everything plays out. Trump would just be terrible for the country, I think, and hopefully that doesn't happen. One good thing is like a silver lining is last time it looked like the end of the world and it really wasn't. It just kind of sucked. So I think we'll be fine, but it is worrying that he's like talking about ending term limits and shit like that. And like, if you vote this time, you'll never have to vote again. It's like, no, fucking this is how you got blasted, and I don't even really believe he got blasted, to be honest. I think at best, like a piece of bullet scraped his ear. If any amount of that bullet hit your ear, that shit would explode. So I don't buy it. I never did. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have ended this like this. Yeah, maybe that was the best way to end the episode. I don't care, man. It's just sus. I mean, it's weird. They said he had like a 2 centimeter scratch or whatever. Why does it seem like it's already healed? Like it's just strange. But anyway, I love you. And I'll be back next week. You know the vibes. Big 0.